So if you ever wondered what it was like to nail Snow White if she was real, this movie kind of like feeds that curiosity.
I suppose so. I mean, you take these storybook characters and bring them into the real world, and they're actually kind of annoying.
But I want to fuck every Disney princess out there.
This isn't really a Disney movie, though. This is a story that's happened to all of us about when we all meet that hot redheaded chick who's just crazy. So crazy. And yet, we just can't completely kick her out, you know? You just can't quite kick her to the curb because, damn.
I could.
Seriously, Cyrus, I think you need to go to Redheads Anonymous.
Sometimes I think you're right, but yeah, she's this girl who she comes from a fairy tale kingdom, right?
An animated fairy tale.
An animated fairy tale. Yeah, she's an animated character right out of a Disney cartoon, and her evil stepmother or soon to be stepmother zaps her, and she comes into our world. Live action actress played by
Amy Adams.
Amy Adams from Junebug,
who's awesome.
Who is awesome and totally hot.
Oh, hell yeah.
I may have established earlier. I may have mentioned that.
Yes, and crazy as shit.
Crazy as shit. But, you know, and here she thinks like a fantasy character. They're like, oh, wonderful. And that'd be one thing if it was just like that. This is New York. They'd just like, you know, lock her away. But the thing is, she actually has some of those fairy tale shit she can do in our world. Like, she summons the forest's animals to come help her clean the house, and it's like New York City, so they're like rats and cockroaches and shit.
Pigeons
and one-legged pigeons.
Well, you gotta appreciate that. She's sort of like a female Aquaman.
Nah, man, it's like you summed it up perfectly right there. And I don't know what it is about this movie, but it's struck a soft spot with me. Like normally I wouldn't like some shit like this, but it does have a certain charm to it. You over there? What are you so quiet about?
What?
I know. I was trying to leave space for you to chime in.
Yeah, no. What'd you think about this?
No, the first 10 minutes of this movie were total crap. I was sitting there staring at this film going, oh God, this is going to be awful. I see every joke in this movie in advance because we've seen this movie a million times. You know, it's just yet another princess taken out of her element and dropped into the real world. And the twist on it is that what you were talking about, that all of that fairy tale magic still works. And the moment that comes in, you're like, oh, wait a second. And it gets really funny. In fact, the minute, why am I blanking on his name? Is James Marsden?
Yeah.
The minute James Marsden gets spat out of a New York City manhole, all of a sudden the movie starts getting good. And then when we get up to that scene where we realize that her princessness followed her with her, all of a sudden it becomes an entirely different movie, and it becomes absolutely adorable.
Adorable is the right word, because it's almost in that Shrek territory where you got, like our world, mixing with the fairy tale world. But with Shrek is always trying to be so irreverent, and Shrek can get on your nerves at some point. Like with the third movie, I'm like, all right, you know what, this is annoying now. But here, it was just adorable. It was done in a sweet way that was respectful to both worlds, if that so.
And one of the other things I really enjoyed about this is just how smart and sharp it actually is. There's a lot of humor buried deep inside of this movie that requires you to know a lot about the Disney universe. Just like little bits here and there. Like every time they're in a building, if you listen closely, the Muzak is playing the theme song from a different Disney princess movie. And there's a great joke at the end with a character's name where you realize the character doesn't have a last name because he comes from a magical, animated kingdom. And there's a lot of just subtle little things in there. But at the same time, it's a really positive movie. In fact, what struck me was this is the anti-Bratz. Remember how Bratz...
Dude, can we have one review where you don't mention Bratz?
Can we have one review where you don't mention a superhero of some kind there, Aquaman?
Ooh. Oh my God. You brought that right around.
Damn, good point right there.
Well, obviously the answer is no. I can answer my question.
Well, there we go. No, but really, this is the one place where it really does. It really is appropriate because Bratz was a film aimed at little girls that had no positive message. It was just void and vapid entertainment made by people who said, you know what, little girls will like anything. This was a movie made for little girls with a positive message, a lot to say, and entertain the parents at the same time.
Sure, I think all that is true, but at the same time, this was as you said, with all the hidden Disney stuff, this was a bunch of guys sitting around a room, a bunch of writers. They said, here's a scenario, think of every joke you can for this, and they just try to cram as much as they could into it, and some of it, quite quite frankly just stunk, was like, oh my God, that's a horrible idea, and would just almost spoil everything, and then they'd come back and do something else cute.
Well, that's because they knew they were going on strike. But okay, one thing I had to ask when I watched this movie is like, man, what is the deal with James Marsden that he can't be in one movie where there isn't another guy in there trying to poach his girlfriend every time?
Because James Marsden,
Cyclops or in Superman Returns.
because James Marsden is the perfect other guy.
Yeah.
He can play that guy that just doesn't belong with the girl, but you could see why the girl actually likes him.
He's nice, he's stable, he's good looking, but he's kind of nondescript at the same time.
Yeah.
I think he's a very talented actor myself.
No, he is. He was great in Hairspray. You talk about messages in this movie. Look, nothing against the movie, really. Well, I'd have some problems with the movie, but one of the things I do have a problem with this movie is that I don't think there's a good message behind this movie. I think this movie tells you true love exists until the next good piece of ass come along. You know, because really, there are people that they talk about love like it's the most incredible thing in the world, and then they just dump people at the dance floor.
I got to say that really bothered me too.
Yeah, no, and it's pro-impulsiveness too.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know what, screw it, you've built up this relationship with this girl for 5 years, but fuck that, there's a hot chick in your living room.
Yeah, well, it is when he's like, wait, you fell in love with him after one night, but it's okay to fall in love with me after 3 days.
Yeah, no, the thing is that this movie, man, nothing against it. It did its job, but it's full of shit.
Now, hold on.
No,
I got to totally disagree with you there, because at the end, both of them, the whole movie, both of them are with people they don't love. Patrick Dempsey doesn't truly love that girl. That's why they gave him the girl with the big nose, so that we knew she didn't belong to her.
See, that movie says if a girl has a big nose and an underbite, she don't deserve love.
That's right.
Up.
And what did they show us?
Wait a minute, hold on, say it.
I said that says if a girl has a big nose and an underbite, she don't deserve love. That's fucked up.
And what did they show us in this movie that really said, this girl's not right for him? I mean, for God's sake, she came to his apartment, found a hot, half-naked redhead lying on top of him, and believed his story.
Now, hold
That's
on.
a keeper right there.
That's a keeper.
That's a keeper. Any girl that you can give a line of bullshit and she'll believe it and keep on rolling, you stay with her.
Wasn't me.
You marry her.
Wait, hold on. Now, here's the thing. This movie, I think the ending was kind of bad, as you said, Carlisle. And actually, at the end, they just said, fuck it. We ain't got no more ideas. We're just going to end this. We're just going to send this dragon off a building and blow that motherfucker up.
Yeah, and what happened there?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh God.
It's weird because I couldn't figure out what happened either, but I thought, well, maybe I looked away. Plus, with the dragon plummeting from a building, I was like, you have wings. Dragons can fly.
Man, that's the thing. Look, we're not ruining anything for you by saying the ending, because the movie does what it does, and you know where it's going to go. It's a fairy tale. But really, even if we were telling you the end, it don't make no sense. You're not going to know what's happened. So, for me, because of that, really, I would personally give the movie a rental, but I know that this movie is going to do what it should do for the right audience, and so I'm going to give it matinee.
For most of those same reasons, not all of them, but I'm going to kind of come in at matinee too. I thought it was a good movie, and I thought it had the potential to be a great movie, but just because of the flaws you mentioned, I'm going to say matinee. It'll be a good rental though.
Yeah, I see totally where you guys are coming with. On the whole, I agree with you, but I'm not an 8-year-old girl, so I can't really review for them. So I'm going to just have to stick with my original impression, which is rental. There's some good stuff here, no question, but just not enough of it to make it worth going to the theater for.
No, personally, I'm with you on that.
You guys all walked out of this. I don't know about you, Leon. You weren't there, but you guys all walked out of this with smiles on your face. You guys said, yeah, that was a good time. I actually had a really good time at this thing. I really enjoyed it. I'm teetering on the edge of matinee and full price.
And gayness.
and total gayness.
No, man. I'm with you on that.
No, because I really, you know what? I enjoyed it. It was sweet. I think of all the family films we've had this season, this one kicks the crap out of all of them. This one really, you're giving a strange look. But
no, I totally understand. I agree with you. No,
yeah, it is
the person I'm talking about.
If you're in the mood for a family film, this is the one to go to. It's really satisfying. Even the hardest of the critics walked out of this one going, yeah, you know what? I hate to admit it, but I liked it. It was cute. So I'm right there. I gotta probably say matinee because I didn't walk out going, hell yeah.
I gave it matinee.
But but you're like, it would be rental, but you're gonna give it matinee because some people like it.
I give it a strong matinee.
I give it a very strong matinee, yeah.
Okay, all right. That's cool. I mean, you know, the other thing I really didn't like about it was personal. That James Marsden comes down that bus, and of course they got the obligatory fat black woman.
I love fat black women. They're so funny.
You know, it would be really cool if they put the fat black woman in the Disney cartoon world.
That would be funny.
That would
That'd be a
awesome.
movie. Just mix
you know
that
what?
shit all up.
Yeah, she drives a bus all day, having to yell at all these white people. It'd be nice for her to get a break and get to go to the fairy tale land.
Queen Latifah and Snow Black.
That's a good place to end it. She's hot, by the way.